Hello there, and oh my goodness, welcome to another episode of SOMP, where we're breaking down the Acolyte. Spoiler alert as usual, stop this immediately because, wow, we are going to be talking about quite a bit during this episode. So, for those of you who are just tuning in for Acolyte reasons, this is the Space Opera Music Podcast, another Star Wars show. We have our regular shows on Saturdays, SOMP Saturdays. So tune in for that. Fun stuff over there. But yeah, for now, let's just jump right in, man. Let's jump into the Acolyte. Oh yeah, I guess we should introduce ourselves.
Introduce yourself. This is Ashton, shared with your friends, and my name is Tim the Greasebatch. Let's jump right in.
Let's do this, man. So, goodness gracious, what should we even start with?
Oh, man. You texted me to watch out for this episode because I was asleep and you could watch it. And I woke up and I watched it, and I didn't know what to say. Because this is a lot. This is...
I stayed up a little bit too late. I ended up watching it 4 times last night.
I like that very much.
I was so thrown at everything. Like,
you should go first though, with your impressions and thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, my impressions. And then I'm gonna play. I made a there are quite a few like musical crazy things that I want your input on. That Tim and I haven't talked about this yet together, but I made a breakdown this morning and threw it up on Instagram as soon as we jumped on to record this. So I'll play that shortly to talk about some musical craziness. But impressions beyond the music, everything has hit the fan. Pretty much everyone is dead. Kamir is Smilorin, or Darth Grin, whatever you want to say. And Kamir, dude. So everyone who's tuning in regularly with these, last week I know we were like speculating, and I was like, man, I don't want Kamir to be the Sith guy because like he's kind of goofy, like kind of like a Johnny Depp-ish thing. But
and I
dude,
knew it.
Yeah, and like, we all knew it. Like it was too obvious.
It was Captain
right? Like,
Obvious, yeah.
Yeah, but like I was like kind of bummed if that was going to be him. But this episode sold me on it. He was such a badass dude. Like, and he's also freaking yoked. Did you see his arms? Like
his triceps,
everything. Like his arms are. He was jacked, dude. So
I like his outfit when he doesn't wear the cape.
Yeah, like we have not had a Sith character in action with their arms exposed. That's kind of new. And it was like, dude, like he's pretty jacked. Like,
yeah,
it was pretty awesome. So, well, I take it back. General Grievous, we got to see his bare arms. so yeah, I mean, I love Kamir. I think now after this episode,
we didn't. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. Kamir is my favorite character in the Acolyte now. After this episode, like he was absolutely amazing in this, and like so like formidable, ruthlessly. I mean, we have not seen rapid deaths like that. Like those are some of the darkest deaths in Star Wars, I think, that we've ever had.
It started with Kanaka, and now it's a mess.
So I mean, yeah, like necks snapping, force pulling people into your lightsaber. Like we get this kind of stuff in like the Star Wars: The Old Republic trailers, you know, like the cinematics, right? Like we get some like pretty, you know, actiony, like darkish.
We have
stuff
neck snapping in Kenobi, where Vader goes through the village. We have some.
Oh, that's true. There. Okay, that's true. Yeah.
But it's very obvious brutality.
Very obvious brutality here, and
at
like
once, actually, yeah.
Dude, freaking Jackie, man, I was so sad at that. Jackie,
same. She's the best Padawan. She's so fierce and she fights so good, and she gets tricked into this situation because he has such a cool gadget lightsaber, which I adore very much.
Yes. Oh man.
But
the
this
choreo,
can't be true, man.
The choreography.
Yeah.
This was the best live action TV choreography we've ever seen so far. Like this was like
TV, I agree. Yeah,
prequels.
sure. Yeah.
This was prequels level choreography.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like so precise, so fast, so awesome.
Yep.
I'm like still kind of blown away at it. Like I need to watch it again tonight because like it's so fun to see this. Like I
Yeah.
was so pumped.
What's going on with this whole lightsaber disabling? Because
Yeah.
I don't know what
So
he's doing to the lightsabers, man.
yeah, so this is cool, man. This is actually a type of metal in the Star Wars galaxy called cartosis. It's a metal that has a very high energy absorption rate, and I'm just going to read this off of Wikipedia. Cortosis allows even the energy of blaster bolts to be dissipated upon contact. One of the strongest minerals in the galaxy, cortosis can even withstand the blow of a lightsaber and briefly short out its blade. So his armor, it's either his armor is made of cortosis or he has like cortosis like wristbands that he like strategically hits them with or something. I'm not sure, but that's absolutely what we're seeing in.
But how did you know it's this?
Because of the behavior. I don't actually like no like it wasn't in like the end credits or something, but just because of the behavior of it, we see it in a few comics recently and some other things.
Okay.
There's like a full like reference guide for cortosis. Oh, actually,
Okay,
in Wikipedia, it shows the Acolyte now. In like the reference page, like or like I don't know what they call it, like where it's
the
where you
links,
can see it. Yeah, the links to it.
the sources,
And
yeah.
the sources. Thank you. And this episode of Acolyte is now on that Wikipedia page. So this is it.
Highly interesting,
pretty,
man.
Pretty dope, man. Yeah, pretty cool.
It's his thing, his move to do this, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. We also, so I don't know, man. To like hit the highlights, I guess. So we're not talking about this for like 10 hours. Highlights for me were what is Soul and his relationship, because he was like, you don't remember me, and Soul's like, you're something familiar. Is that like hinting at a deeper and bigger relationship, or are they merely just talking about on whatever planet that was when they were like interrogating him? And he's like, oh, you don't remember me? Like, is he just referring to that like interrogation, or is there like a bigger relationship past that Soul and him have? I don't know.
And we get deeper into Soul's dark secret in general.
Perhaps, but it still begs the question, like,
actually.
Yeah, but it still begs the question, like, if that is the case, wouldn't Soul have already encountered that during that interrogation? I don't know, man. I'm not sure, but
I'm talking
that
of
was
the time when something happened at the place from Ocean May.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, is that what
is
that what Kamir is referencing, or was he just saying? Was he just like hinting at whenever you like whenever you interrogated me earlier? Don't you remember that who I am? Like, I don't know which he is like talking about, so that'll be interesting to find out. There was a couple other things, but I'm kind of like blanking. I'm just like short circuiting all day from this episode.
Yeah, this shows just this episode is too much, and in a good way.
In a good way,
because
a very good way.
I don't want to talk about it, but to all those who are not liking this show, you cannot unlike this episode.
Dude, I know. I mean, that there's going to be some people that double down, but I've said it from the beginning. Like, a lot of these, like, super, like, just like the super vitriol, people. I think they're going to be pretty embarrassed by the end of this season.
Yeah,
at their behavior. So,
but
that's not to say the people who are like civilized in their critiques so far.
Yeah,
that's fine. I'm talking about the people who are like, like the death threats and just like the absolute assholery that's been going on.
Let's cut it right here, because it should be not too much streaming time for those guys. They don't deserve it.
That's true. Yeah.
So,
Good point.
I was thinking earlier about this whole switcheroo thing with Osha and May, that one of them could turn, and now we have this kind of obvious trickery, which from May, and I'm 100% sure that Saul knows it, and he's on the ship with Basil.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You'd think he would know it, but
he must.
He has to.
It just, yeah. He's not tricked by the looks, because the dark side clouds May.
Yeah. I know, man.
And it's just waiting for the moment to make this clear to her.
Right.
To have her in a space where he can control everything, to make her, like, to pin her down or something.
Right.
It was so cool to see the fist fights, right? From Soul and
everything.
Kumir.
Bro, the hand-to-hand combat, the lightsaber combat, like, it was all dope.
It was so dope because in the first few episodes we saw those masterful, like, parades of the Jedi Masters from Soul and from Indara. Oh, what's the name again?
Yeah, Indara. Yeah,
Indara. Yeah, and they all have very precise moves, and it starts in this fight with Soul doing the same, but he has to focus his fighting style, because it's he is in a situation where he probably hasn't been before, where no one has been before, just like Obi-Wan or Qui-Gon.
Yeah, and especially considering, whenever we find out more about Kumir and his background and, like, where he came from and stuff, like, yeah, I think there's going to be more to that statement to unpack. I mean, we still have 3 episodes. One of which will probably be an entire flashback episode. I don't know if it's episode 6 or 7, but one coming up is directed by the same director who did episode 3, which is the flashback episode. So, that one's, I'm pretty sure that's going to be an entire flashback episode. So yeah, I mean, we have 3 more, including that one. Dude, one thing that was cool was at the very end. Should I play this breakdown? Do you want to, like, see? I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on this. We're talking about Acolyte episode 5. So as expected, the recurring themes that we've been getting are now hitting pretty hard at the end of this episode. Put my hood on for this. Okay, so you all remember this theme from one of the end credits early on, right? And now we talked about that was really similar to Kylo's theme. Craziest thing now is we get this at the end of episode 5, but it's literally Kylo's theme. Same exact notes.
We are.
No way.
And literally in the same key as the first time we hear Kylo's theme. So this is pretty unabashedly Kylo Ren's theme playing here. There's got to be some kind of a connection. Maybe some Knights of Ren stuff. I don't know. More crazy thing. You hear this whenever he's putting the cloak over Osha. So that is quite literally the same as this. So, what does this mean?
Bravo, Mr. Music Detective. You nailed it again. Bravo.
Thank you, thank you.
This is highly interesting stuff.
Isn't it?
And I didn't notice. Shame on me. But, man.
Yeah.
And second thought, the design of the helmet just makes sense to the Knights of Ren.
Totally.
And maybe Kumir is one of the founders of this tribe of the Ren, or this tribe of Sith.
Could
anything,
be, man.
Splinter groups.
But I really do hope still that we get some kind of Abeloth connection because of that teeth design. Like, it's So uncanny.
Do
Abeloth.
you want to explain Abeloth for those who might not be too deep into this?
Yeah, I'll do my best. So, yeah, I mean, I don't even know if I'll explain it properly. Let me know if I miss anything. But basically, you know how in the Clone Wars we have what's called the Mortis arc, and we get the son and the daughter and the father, and if I'm not mistaken, Abeloth is the corrupted mother figure. Is that right, or is it the daughter who like it gets corrupted? I honestly,
Beloved Queen of the Stars, bringer of chaos and the destructor, says Wikipedia.
yeah, but like, where did she come from, kind of thing.
I don't know, and another huge shame on me.
Yeah, well,
But it is
she
something which
she
is.
was part of the ones. She was part of the ones. I'm not sure like what the exact relationship is, but she was part of that family at one point. So I guess that's
So
all you need to know.
it's a symbol of the Force or something
Mhm.
very mystical, which is
Mhm.
teased and might be picked up here in the Acolyte again.
Mhm. Yeah.
And the
So
design of the teeth is portrayed in the helmet from Kumir.
right, and it's so uncannily her look, her design. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that that's a connection, because I mean that would just be like even crazier than the stuff we're getting here like so far. So
I mean, this cannot be a coincidence that this theme is appearing.
it's too,
It's just too strong and too memorable to
yes, it's, yeah, and like too recent. You know what I mean? Like if
yeah,
it were like
it's too recent,
old,
yeah.
like a like not obscure, but like an older theme, it's like okay, maybe it was coincidence. Like no, like this is like very actively a theme.
Yeah.
And so
It's in the credits, right? You said in the credits.
the very first iteration of it, yes, with like the strings and like the percussion and stuff, yes. But even that iteration wasn't literally Kylo's theme. Like there are a couple notes in there that are different, technically. But this iteration we get when Kamir is talking to Osha on the ground, and he's like, oh, we're such an interesting species, aren't we? Or whatever the heck he's saying. That's where it's playing when he's talking. And it's literally, it's a French horn, literally Kylo's exact theme.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is mind-blowing stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to go on from here.
I don't
Except with
either.
the straight cut.
Yeah, I say let's just leave that there.
Because this what you mentioned in your breakdown clip, this brass motif from Rise of Skywalker, I wrote down in my notepad, very brassy episode, talking of the score, because low brass was very present in this episode.
For sure.
And as well as this clingy sound I mentioned a few episodes ago, which is connected to May somehow. Do you know which one I'm talking of?
The one that we talked about last week, right?
I think, yeah. It was just a sound which I picked up, and it was very specific, very unique, and I didn't know how to. I still don't know how to connect it, but it reappeared, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of, we need to catch up from last week, I think.
Yes,
Before we dive
forgot to
back
mention
into this episode, because I noticed a scene with a certain motif, but I didn't know. My brain was itching. I didn't know where it was in the saga movies. So I asked my good friend, the music detective himself, Mr. Ashton Sherritt, and we've simultaneously been looking for this cue, and it
was a hard one.
appears. Yeah, it appears in The Phantom Menace. It's in the Ultimate soundtrack called. What is it called? I have to look that up again, but it's right here at 1:54. Now. So this appeared in the Acolyte when Soul turned around and saw Kumir coming.
Yep. It's like pretty the same.
Yep.
It's not exactly the same, it's not like this like Kylo thing that we're getting now, but it's I think it's just
the same vibe, the same.
Yeah.
It's like it rhymes. It's poetry. It rhymes. This kind of stuff.
And honestly, like if anything, because I mean, like during that scene, it's like we have what's his name? The a communications disruption can mean only one thing.
Oh
like
yeah. I know which one.
Whatever his name is. Sorry, guy.
Slow Bibble, Sio Bibbles.
Sio Bibble, yeah.
Yeah.
The infamous. It's like during that kind of scene, like whenever he's like talking and stuff, like Panaka's talking, it's like there's nothing like crazy going on there. But I just think that's a testament to good scoring and just like how embedded they are in the John Williams sound. I mean, that's just a prime example. So
the tune in the Ultimate Edition is called Queen Amidala Warns the Federation.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like right after right after she ends the transmission and they're like all like talking and stuff in the Naboo Palace. That's during that scene.
And on second thought, it might be at Boss Nass Otogunga as well. Somehow, maybe.
So it's similar. I sent that one to you first.
Oh yeah.
But,
okay.
But it wasn't. The flutes didn't hold out. Like they were a little more atonal than this clip. This clip is the one that's like that's it.
Yeah.
So
sweet.
Yeah, that was some fun investigative work this past week. I mean, dude, honestly, like that's all I have. Like that's all I have for this episode. I have
can't wait for next play week. Another cue because it's not the same vibe. It's the same vibe, but not the same like motif or something.
Mm-hmm.
Which I noticed. Which is taken from Alfred Newman from the movie Psycho.
Oh, right.
And
yes.
This sound is very specific, and it is somehow picked up in the Acolyte. And it's called the Madhouse. And actually, this Madhouse cue, which we might hear in a second, is quoted like directly quoted in A New Hope when they get out of the cargo hold where they smuggle themselves in the Death Star on the Falcon.
Very cool.
It's boo, boo, boo.
Yeah, nice.
And this is a nice nod from Mr. Williams to this very movie. And I'm waiting to Riverside to load this file again. And we might cut that out.
Nice. Yeah, man. That's so good.
Yep.
Totally hearing that like all over the Acolyte so far.
Yep. It's this eerie music vibe.
Yeah, for sure.
And the last episode, the score was very, very unsettling, and this is just continued in a new approach with more brass and the points that you mentioned.
Yeah, super eerie, man. Super horror-esque, which is so cool. I love Kumir. I did not like him so much until this episode. Yeah, dope.
I mean, I like him, but I hate him, and that's a good sign.
Well, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's it, dude. I think this is a nice, short and sweet episode, let's call it, honestly. And tune into...
We have to mention our friends from Wampa's Lair.
Oh yeah,
because the soundtrack of the first 4 episodes just dropped, and Ash and I didn't have the time to like get into it and to focus on stuff. But we will do it in a separate episode.
Yeah. Yeah, the Wampus Lair was like, you guys need to check out this track, and I'm sure there are others too.
In the
But
timestamp, yeah.
yeah, shout out. Those guys love the soundtracks, as we all do. And yeah, we will definitely have a dedicated episode like just to the music, or maybe even several. Um, outside of these like episode breakdowns. So stay tuned for that. Also, stay tuned for SOMP Saturday coming up this week, or every Saturday.
It's gonna
And
be a special episode.
it
Another
will be.
special episode.
Yes, it will be. We'll no spoilers. So we'll
No
keep it a
spoilers.
surprise.
Yes.
But yeah, very special one. And of course, for the rest of these Acolyte episodes, we'll be doing the same thing. So
Yes, it's a
stay
must do.
tuned.
Must do. And you might have noticed that our YouTube channel is online. So
Yes.
if you're a YouTube person, go check that out. Leave us comments. Interact with us. In general, we appreciate it a lot. And that's it for today, right?
That's it, man. Yeah. May the force be with everyone, or I guess the dark side. I don't know at this point.
I don't know what to think
Chaos.
of just
Chaos.
today. Yeah.
Yeah.